Do we owe Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, an apology?
Oh, I don't know if I'm brave enough to answer that.
Well, it's been how many years now since the first Disney film? 10 years?
Oh, when was Force Awakens actually out? I do have a list of stuff.
Because, Force
Yeah,
Awakens.
2015. It is 10 years.
Wow.
Oh, it feels like longer.
It's been a long 10 years. Well, we started with Force Awakens. And
did.
I'll be honest, looking at it retrospectively,
Mm-hmm.
even at the time,
Yeah.
loved that movie. I went to see it in the cinema 6 times.
Nice.
6 times.
Yeah.
And even looking back at certain things now, like I'll see clips of Kylo Ren from Force Awakens and the odd score soundtrack or moment from the film. And I get, it's almost like a nostalgic feeling, like, oh yeah, that was good.
It was. There was a lot of theories around that time. There was a lot
Yeah.
of there was so much potential.
Who and what is Snoke?
Yes. Which nobody even remembers he's a thing anymore. Or was a
Yeah.
thing. And
Yeah. So they went off to a good start.
Yeah.
So at the time it was like, okay, the Disney era, it's started, it's positive. There was critics for it. Don't get me
Of
wrong.
course,
There
yes.
is for everything. Nothing is without its critics, especially Star Wars.
Yep.
But yeah, I was a big fan. What was after Force Awakens?
Solo, a Star Wars story. The first of their character-focused ones on a young Han Solo.
Yes. Now the problem with this wasn't necessarily the movie itself.
Mhm.
It was the choice to make a young Han Solo movie.
Yes. Yeah, there were certain decisions within it that made people question Disney and their writing abilities, I guess. Like
Yeah.
how he got his name. That was always a big one. That
Yeah.
just by some random guard and stuff. You're just like,
Yeah, the problem for me, and it's a similar problem with like Andor, is like I didn't ask for this, and while that shouldn't be a problem, I think it kind of was going into it. Not just from my perspective. I think overall, people were like, "Well, I don't really need this."
yeah. I mean, there is a lot about saying Star Wars is Jedi. It's Force sensitive people. So to get Han Solo, who's not, and I mean, at the time we first meet him, he doesn't even believe in any of it. So he hasn't really seen any of it. So
Yeah,
that story's not going to be very Star Wars,
true.
or what we would consider Star Wars, especially at that time.
Yeah, but what's almost ironic looking back is the saving grace for that movie that made everyone be like, "Oh," was the reveal at the end of the movie. Who was the head of what was it called? Crimson Dawn.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been that long. Was Darth Maul.
Yeah.
And they got Ray Park back, and they had Sam Witwer voice it. So
Yeah.
it was like perfect Darth Maul. And very, very exciting. Nothing came of it.
No. And that might become a recurring theme looking back at this
Yeah.
is a lot of stuff. Because, I mean, I've got a list of what came out. I haven't got a list of everything they announced and never
Oof.
came out. Because we haven't got enough time for that.
Yeah. And that might be one of the biggest things that
Yes.
stops us from apologizing to Disney.
Yeah.
But I've got a point to make here. I've got a
Yes,
point.
okay.
We'll get to it. But the big thing was everyone kind of forgot about Solo because the main cool bit about it, at least to me, was just pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah.
What was next?
The Last Jedi.
Oh, here we go.
Go on, get your apology.
I'm starting
Go
to
on.
think that my apology to Disney is going to get retracted very quickly.
Yeah. So we had The Last Jedi, which obviously created many a hateful video, many a rant.
It's one of our most successful videos on this channel.
Yes.
It's literally when it was me and you stood at reception in the old gym, old gym,
Yep.
in like Christmas jumpers, talking about why The Last Jedi sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still like I remember so many people being like, "Oh no, in 10 years you'll look back at this film and
Yeah.
go, no, it's a masterpiece. You just couldn't appreciate it at
Yeah.
the time." No,
I hate it. I passionately hate Last Jedi.
I will still admit certain screenshots
Yeah, oh yeah.
beautiful,
Yeah.
but once they start moving, there's
And
issues.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely moments in that movie that are great. Moments. But they do not make up for the horrendously horrific decisions that were made around them. I mean, all of Canto Bight. Rose as a character.
Yeah,
What they do with Finn as a character.
Yeah,
Phasma. Like everything. I mean, I haven't even touched on Luke. Yeah. Ray becoming a Mary Sue, or at least beginning to. Even Snoke, his journey comes to an end. Kylo Ren's arc gets a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just...
Yeah, I mean, these are all paths that have been trodden before.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Let's not spend too long on that. Continue.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. I've messed up at the beginning.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it wasn't Solo. Solo was after Last Jedi. Rogue One was the one after Force Awakens.
Oh, well, yeah. Rogue One was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone's still pumped off Force Awakens. Went into Rogue One and like, okay, cool. I mean, yeah, we kind of mentioned Andor. The fact we've now got a prequel for Rogue One is a bit weirder.
What's funny doing this backwards, like we've just done, is I mentioned how no one asked for it. No one asked for a Rogue One.
No.
But that was truly a hidden gem. And that almost like opened up our, not our vision, but like I'm a bit more open-minded now, opened up our mind. Like, okay, I didn't ask for this, but it delivered. It's great. It feels very Star Wars. It feels like it's gone back to, real Star Wars, that kind of gritty. It just felt right. And obviously, similar with Solo, we have the moment towards the end of the movie that just makes everyone go, oh yes, this one was hit the nail on the head. The Vader corridor sequence. Yeah, they did good. So Force Awakens, Rogue One, Disney off to a great start.
Last Jedi and Solo, big stutters.
Yes.
And from there we had Star Wars Resistance.
Oh, that's the animated show?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't watch it.
No interest to watch it either.
Cannot comment. But I like that they put things out for adults and kids.
Yes.
Keep the younger audience engaged in Star Wars. Give it a future.
Yes. So, been a couple of years. Things are not as strong as they were at the beginning. And then we get The Mandalorian.
Oh, boy.
Which, I'm not going to lie. Before that came out, I was really like, I got so little interest in this series.
Yeah.
Didn't even watch it when it first came out. And then I heard what people were saying about it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm giving it a go.
Yeah. I watched it from the start. But again, like you, I was like... just give me lightsabers, man.
Yeah.
I've always been like, that's my favorite part of Star Wars. Jedis and Siths, that's what it is to me. But yeah, this came out and that is what changed everything for me.
Yeah. And it showed that you didn't need to go massive to have a really good story and get all the Star Wars fans on board.
Yeah. It almost felt like a sequence of short films. Like short films mainly tell standalone stories that happen in a moment of time. And that's kind of like what Mandalorian was in a way. Yeah. Because the season is like, was it 6 or 8 episodes and they're all just their own stories with an overarching narrative. It just worked so well.
Yeah. I will add for my list here, I've got release dates of when they start coming out. For example, I don't have Mandalorian season 2 and stuff in terms of dates.
Right, okay.
So whether we want to discuss that now.
Yeah. Mando season 2, I think, was probably a step up again from season 1.
Yes.
They introduced Ahsoka, our first live-action Ahsoka, which for me, as a massive Clone Wars and Rebels fan, was, a little story here. I was watching it at someone else's house, got so excited when Ahsoka came on screen. I had a glass of red wine in my hand. Red wine all over a cream sofa. Anyway.
Oh, dear. However, we did get season 3, which we'll move on from.
Yes. Good idea.
But then after The Mandalorian came the pinnacle of nothingness, The Rise of Skywalker. The climax to 9 films of the Skywalker saga, and it's Rey Skywalker.
Wow.
Our Lord and Savior.
One of the biggest things that literally, it was just a face palm shaking your head kind of moment is somehow... Palpatine has returned.
How many things have we done where that quote has come up?
Oh, God. We even did a battle report where it was like Lord of the Rings set after, and we did a whole, somehow the Witch King has returned.
Yeah. It's in folklore for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, it's so bad. So bad. Who okayed that decision?
Yeah. Obviously, you'd think now, if they went back and went, okay, no, let's do this trilogy again, which some say they probably should just, scrap it up, start again.
Legends.
Yeah, it just shows. Plan your story out.
Yep.
Just think where you're going to finish
before
you start committing hundreds and hundreds of millions. Before you start committing that much money, just figure out where you're going to.
And what's wild is they did the classic mistake of Lost. Lost started amazing,
Mhm.
ended terribly because Mr. Abrams didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
So ironically, they hired the guy that basically made that
Mm.
huge, film and TV mistake
Mm.
in this industry. He's like the guy that's known for it,
Yep.
not planning ahead. And they hired him to start a trilogy with no ending, and then brought him back to go, do you want to try and fill in your ideas? Because the first one was quite good.
That's the thing. They kind of got it right to start with by going, yeah, this guy starts stuff off. Great. Let's bring him in.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, Abrams has his, like, an Abrams thing when you see it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sort of mystery boxes and stuff. But yeah, it's a great place to start.
Mm.
But yeah, to bring him back to finish it off when you've already...
he can't finish things well.
Yeah. Like, he can't finish his own shows, let alone someone who's taken the middle part and gone, oh, all that stuff you did? Yeah, I'm going to do my own thing. And just scrunch it up into a ball and throw it at the wall, and something might stick, but everything else is going to be different.
Yeah. I mean, the Rise of Skywalker was just doomed to fail after the Last Jedi took such a left turn. But yeah, main timeline, big movie, Disney Star Wars, very up and down from the start. We've gone Force Awakens, Rogue One, Last Jedi, Solo, Rise of Skywalker.
Mandalorian?
I meant films, but
okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, TV so far at this point has been great.
Yeah.
We haven't had any bad TV shows so far.
Until next to Enter the Rumble. As a new one, obviously season 2s and stuff are going to be around here.
Yeah.
But we get the Book of Boba Fett, which is a show. When the Mandalorian was first announced, like we said it, I don't know how many people said it. Go, why are we just getting like a Boba Fett show? Or something? Why are we getting like a already established character bounty hunter doing that kind of show? It's like, oh no, we're going to do a new Mandalorian. Turned out good, and okay, we're going to give you Boba Fett now. Great.
Terrible.
oh, you're giving us overweight, really nice guy Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Who's not a crime lord, but wants to be a good guy.
And Power Rangers.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. That episode that was directed by, I can't remember the guy's name, but it felt like one of his movies. The guy who did like Spy Kids and stuff.
Yes.
It felt like a Spy Kids movie. Like it was so bad. And then let's not forget that midway through Book of Boba Fett, we just had 2 episodes of Mandalorian.
Yep.
What? So weird. Really good ones.
Yeah.
Luke was in them. Yeah, so it's just strange.
Yeah, I don't. Again, that's one of those. You wish you were in the room when they were having that meeting to decide, yeah, this is our plan.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to spend, I can't remember the exact episode numbers, but we're going to take 6 episodes with Boba. We're going to go on this journey. He's going to he doesn't quite want to be as evil. We're going to have that whole thing with his character. And then the Mandalorian's going to show up towards the end. So yeah, we'll bring him in. And then we'll just go away from Boba Fett for 2 episodes and come back. And it hasn't really affected anything to do with Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and finish the story. And everyone go, yeah, great, let's do that. It's like, did no one go, don't we want to stick with the character?
Yeah. The title character?
Yeah.
The Book of Boba Fett? Very, very strange.
Also, I don't really get the book of part. I don't know if I'm forgetting something. Because everything else is like The Mandalorian, Solo. Even later, you get Kenobi, Ahsoka,
Andor.
But you get the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, weird.
Or was the Book of's going to be was that at one point going to be like there's going to be the Book of Boba Fett, the Book of Cad Bane, the Book
to be honest, I've wiped so much of that show out of my mind. I'm not quite sure. Let's move on from that tragedy.
Okay, so after that, and we're very low right now. We're really not in a good place at this point.
True.
We do actually take a little step up because we get the Bad Batch.
Oh,
and if I'm remembering right, I think it was around here we also got the season 6 of the Clone Wars.
Yes,
because it was Bad Batch. I think was introduced in that. And
yeah,
yeah. So around this time, we get End of Clone Wars animated show. And the Bad Batch.
Big fan. Just the animation style of Clone Wars and Rebels and all that. I've always loved.
Yeah,
it's got this weird adult child aesthetic where both can appreciate it.
Yeah.
And it's quite unique in that way.
There's a part of me that wonders if there's a bit of nostalgia and if it was introduced to new people today, if it's seen as a bit too childish.
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm not sure because I've got the nostalgia side. Like I like it.
Yeah.
But there is part of me that goes, well, if you're getting into Star Wars today and then you go to that, you're like, now this is a kid's thing. I think skipping.
With Bad Batch being like the newest, well, kind of newest of these animated style shows, it's got quite a dark vibe and aesthetic in general. And I think if that's your introduction to this animation style, I don't think you'd look at that and go, oh, this is just a kiddie show. I mean, some people will, but yeah, overall, Bad Batch, great characters, some really cool stories. Again, there's some filler. There's always going to be with these shows.
Yep.
But overall, great addition to the Star Wars universe.
Okay, so we're kind of like, we've picked up slightly from Boba Fett now.
Yeah,
We're coming back up. And then suddenly, hello there.
Oh, okay. We're at Kenobi already.
Obi-Wan Kenobi comes out in 2022.
Wow.
That's 3 years ago now.
Yeah. No, what's funny is this is the show that's kind of sparked this debate. When this show came out 3 years ago, I mean, when Disney took over, this is the number one thing on my wish list.
Yeah.
Give me a PTSD Kenobi story between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. That's exactly
I mean,
the
you
one
can
thing
probably
I
look
wanted.
back at our old videos, and there's so many times we've mentioned that. So
Yeah. Speaking of which, it's been a while since we've done a video on this. So if you're here watching this, thanks for coming back.
Yeah, probably
Or welcome.
All 5 of you who are here with us.
So this was very much my wish, and it was granted. When I started seeing trailers and stuff, I was like, oh my God, they're actually doing it right. It looks dark. It looks, he's depressed. You know, you don't want to watch a dark, depressing show, but that guy has just severed limbs off his brother and watched him burn and left him to it. Like that, he's going to be messed up. And that's what they gave us. They gave us a series of a really sad, not fun Obi-Wan Kenobi. Correct. Watching the episodes as it came out wasn't necessarily blown away.
No.
I liked the majority of what was going on with Kenobi, but then there was elements of the show, such as baby Leia, that just felt a bit unnecessary. Cool to have her involved.
Yep.
It kind of explains the whole, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Get it? I get it. The little actress was very good, but it felt more like her show than his at times.
Yes.
Which was really disappointing.
Yep.
The other element I didn't particularly like at the time was Reva. I don't think many people did.
Nope.
Quite a strange decision having her as this like really evil, twisted, one single-minded inquisitor whose only goal was to bring down Kenobi. And then 5 episodes in, they're like, oh, she's actually trying to kill Anakin. She was one of the younglings.
Yeah.
And her whole thing is to get close to Vader. Cool twist in a way, but it didn't allow the rest of her arc to make much sense.
Yeah, it's very poorly executed.
Yeah. However, having said all this, again, this is why this debate has been sparked. In the last week or two, I've actually re-gone through Kenobi.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Okay.
Absolutely loved it.
And you finished it now?
No, I have one episode left.
Oh, you've one
watched
episode.
5.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I've got what in my head was the best part of the show to come, which was the Vader Obi-Wan, which kind of doesn't make sense, but
yeah,
I got it and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was emotional. It was well shot. It was cool having the cracked face Vader, seeing Anakin. Like I loved it at the time, and it was the one thing in my head that went, look, the Kenobi show wasn't great, but at least we got that. We got those visuals. We got that. It was really cool to see. And going back to it now, I haven't even seen that yet, and I've loved the show.
See, I find that really interesting because
so do I. I don't understand how my brain's done it, but yeah, I honestly, and I'm almost trying to watch it critically as well. And I'm just like, nah, it is good. It is.
So things like poor chase scenes with Leia, hiding her under a coat.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan's distinct lack of disguises.
Yeah.
That's just not. Was that just heightened at the time because Disney had put Star Wars in such a bad spot?
I think so. And those are the moments that I was trying to critique when watching.
Yeah.
So, for example, you mean the chasing with Leia where like the guys clearly run faster than her? And,
going through the woods. And,
I watched that and I was a bit like, it's obvious that they're trying to run slow to not catch her. But what do you really do about that?
Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Do something. Have a hiding. Don't have an actual like foot chase where they're all in the same shot.
Yeah, I totally get that. But on reflection, it's just like this show's rubbish. You know, I feel like looking back, we're just so in that, Disney Star Wars sucks. They make so many stupid decisions. Let's just jump on it. It does feel like it was a bit of that.
Okay.
And I can look at things that I consider absolute masterpieces, like Lord of the Rings. There's going to be moments where you're like, probably could have done that a bit different.
Yeah.
I don't have an example, but I'm sure you could nitpick at anything, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and I feel like, they probably would have caught her there is nitpicking.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, I guess it's just because she is a little kid. That's if it was adults and adults, it might be.
But she gets caught.
Yeah.
She gets captured.
Yeah.
She almost gets tortured. You know, like it. You know?
Yeah, I guess.
The other example you used then was Kenobi in his long coat.
Yes.
I cringed at that so hard first time watching it. I knew it was coming this time, so I was prepared for the cringe, which always helps. But the way they shoot it, it's when they show the front angle and he's shaped like this.
Yeah.
That it looks dodgy. But then they cut to other angles and you realize that all the troopers and stuff are side on to them. So it's actually, it probably would work. There's a big rush going on. There's like alarms going off. Everyone's rushing out. They're not focusing on what's going on. Like, I'm actually okay with it.
Okay. See, I haven't watched it since 2022. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to go off 3 years of memory, and my memory's not good for 3 days. So that's tough. There's bits that I'd point out from the last episode that I can remember, but you haven't rewatched that one yet. So that's a harder comparison.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you can remember everything.
Yeah.
I just remember there being a distinct like teleporting situation with people just appearing on different planets that just didn't seem close, and it just suddenly seemed like someone was here when they were over there, but the time nothing was lining up, and it was just very much that like last season of Game of Thrones, where suddenly they've traveled half the country, they're across the solar system.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of movie magic, kind of just suspend your disbelief. I think that's so common in most things. Time doesn't always line up in movies and TV. You know,
that's fair. So, okay, your opinion now then on the fact that there is a thing with Obi-Wan and Vader when the whole line, obviously, from the film is, you assume it's referring to their battle on Mustafar.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's not.
Yeah.
It's
a difficult one. It's a difficult one because why does everyone get so hung up on this and that when there's multiple instances in other elements of Star Wars where that's the case? Even in just George Lucas's Star Wars. Clone Wars has multiple instances of Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Grievous fighting. Yeah, in Revenge of the Sith, Anakin says something like, I expect you to be taller. Why did you expect that? You've just spent years battling him. Like, that's just in George Lucas. This isn't even with the Disney takeover. No one really gets that hung up on that. But yeah, when it happens in this show, it's a massive deal.
I guess because Vader Obi-Wan is such a key thing in all, like, it's like the rivalry, the battle, apart from maybe Luke Vader, of course.
Yeah.
But in the whole story, to change that, it's big. It's not a side Grievous battle. It's the main guys. I imagine that's.
But what's the line? It's something like, last time we met, I was but the learner, now I am the master. I think at the time in Kenobi, Obi-Wan only just finds out that Vader is alive. He literally just finds out. So at that point, it's almost like there's an element still of student and master. It's like that didn't really come to an end.
Yeah, except Vader's just way better than him now.
Yeah, but
so that's I think it's just one of those. It's
But is he like Obi-Wan gets away and Anakin is
through? Isn't it the woman shoots the stuff that ignites the fire, and that's how they escape?
But
so
I don't know.
He definitely doesn't win.
No,
he definitely gets his ass handed to him by Vader.
Yeah.
So there is that. But yeah, like I say, it's a line. It's a line that's.
I think in episode 4, if Vader went, when we dueled on Mustafar, then that's one thing. But because of the nature of the line, I don't see it as a big deal.
That was George Lucas's next edits he was going to make. He was going to start changing the lines.
Yeah, but I think because it's quite generic. I was the learner. Now I'm the master.
Okay,
I just I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, like I'd need to rewatch it again now because, like I say, it's been 3 years.
Yeah,
which is a long time.
Okay, so Kenobi was a very, I don't want to say controversial, but probably some people loved it, some people hated it. We're kind of back onto middle ground here.
Yeah.
What's next?
It's the same year. We had Andor. So we got both an Obi-Wan Kenobi show and a show about the guy from Rogue One who we probably the least interesting character of the bunch, and we know his end fate.
Yeah.
For someone that we don't really care about.
Yeah. Another example of no one asked for this.
Yeah.
Why are we getting this? But I'll tell you what is the biggest issue with this to me is, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think I've heard this fact. Andor had a significantly larger budget than Kenobi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenobi was actually pretty shafted for the money they put into it, considering...
It's the return of Darth Vader to our screens.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader as well.
Yeah, and just having Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan, I don't get how that's not... They went, oh, that's the one which you expect them to go, oh, we went over budget on this.
Yeah.
But you go, well, yeah. Of course you would.
Yeah, I feel like Kenobi is the show people will get Disney Plus to watch.
Yes.
Andor is not.
I mean, I have heard there is a cut out there of Kenobi as a film rather than a series.
That's the biggest thing. Kenobi should have been a movie. That is the biggest thing.
Yeah, which I think cut out a lot of Reaver stuff and kind of showed more his story with Vader. And supposedly that works so much better.
Yeah. There's definitely a story in that show that's great.
Yeah, just too long to tell it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and honestly, haven't watched it.
Yeah. And one of the shows that people that are into Star Wars always say Andor is some of the best Star Wars content we've had in recent years. Good storytelling. Season 1 is a lot of build-up and then little bits of, here we go, here it is. And a bit of build-up and then here we go. But yeah, I mean, I haven't even looked at Season 2, so I'm hearing mixed things about that as well. A few people that we know have said fantastic things about it. It's brilliant. Some people have said, again, it's slow.
Yeah.
And I struggle with slow Star Wars.
I could forgive it, but I think I need, and this may sound like a really, I don't know, just a stupid thing to say, but I feel like I'd at least need Jedi and stuff. Like, I feel slow Star Wars when it's, again, about a character like Cassian, who I just don't care about.
Yeah.
It's got to be phenomenal.
I'm still going to do it all because if there's a cool story to tell inside the Star Wars universe, I'm game. I like Jedis and Siths the most, but I don't have to have them in my Star Wars stories. I enjoyed all the episodes of Mandalorian without any Jedis.
Oh, yes. Yeah, but you still got like Mandalorians, which is...
True.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is nitpicky. Like I say, if they write a good show, it doesn't matter. It really wouldn't matter at all if the writing's good. I think the issue is where it's suspect.
And a lot of people complain about, other things like, and I'm sure we'll get to it in a minute, but for me, it doesn't matter who the lead character is. It doesn't matter if it's male or female, an alien or human, Jedi or... I don't care as long as it's a good story. That's the biggest thing for me. Respect Star Wars. Tell us good stories within this incredible universe.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you go back to the prequels. Like, if you really look at them, they're not the best films ever made. They're not really up there as, like, cinematic masterpieces in terms of, like... study them if you're going to learn how to make the best films and write the best dialogue. But they still put bums on seats. They still are...
Look at the re-release.
If most people go, oh, what's Star Wars? That's what they think of.
Yeah.
And it's because it does its job.
Well, I went to see the re-release in the cinema, Revenge of the Sith, and I absolutely loved it. Like, we're of the age that when it came out, we were a good age, so grew up with the prequels. Even though I'd already seen the original trilogy in the cinema before that, so I was already a huge Star Wars fan. That was my Star Wars. It's like everyone has their James Bond. That was my Star Wars. And being an adult and spending time with Disney Star Wars and all of Star Wars, rewatching it and watching it with someone as well, sometimes you can get almost secondhand cringe, right? I didn't get it. I just loved it. It was just so good. So good.
Fair.
And there was an element of it that made me go, Star Wars has gone downhill.
Yeah.
But there's people out there that will argue the opposite, that the prequels are the weak part of Star Wars.
Yep. That's fair. Well, this is an interesting one then, because next comes Tales of the Jedi.
Okay.
Because this is something people did want, I think.
Yes.
People had asked for. And they did it in a good way. They didn't try and make an entire series on all these different random characters.
Nope.
They just did, here's little snippets.
Yeah, like a Black Mirror type format.
And I think that's great, personally.
I agree.
I can't think if I've watched... I feel like I watched most of them, but that was, again, that's 3 years ago as well. So I'm struggling to remember all of them off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed what they were.
Yeah. The key ones that stick out to me are the Qui-Gon Dooku stuff. Seeing good guy Dooku.
Yes.
And Padawan Qui-Gon. I just liked all that. It was really great. And again, sticking with that animation style that I love, that Clone Wars style, can do no wrong in my opinion.
Yep. Okay, from there, Ahsoka. In other words, Rebel Season 5. 6. 5?
5, yes. Season 5. Now, this is a really interesting one, and I will be blunt and honest with this. This came out at a time where I felt a little bit disillusioned with Star Wars.
Yes, I had checked out Star Wars at this point for a bit.
Because we are, hardcore Star Wars fans. And it's almost like that. I'm a bit hurt by some of the stuff that's been put out. Like this happened with Lord of the Rings as well. And if you don't know anything about us, we mainly do Lord of the Rings content on YouTube, and are lifelong fans of that. And Rings of Power had a similar effect on me. I felt insulted and hurt, and it really damaged my want to watch or be involved in Lord of the Rings stuff. And that's the point I was at in Star Wars at this point. After Book of Boba Fett and season 3 of Mando and a few other bits and pieces, I was just like, oh man, I'm not sure I can keep doing it. And that's a real shame because Ahsoka is one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. And this was, again, another thing that I was really, really hyped for. Just couldn't bring myself to do it in case it was ruined.
Yeah.
But I have been going through it. I haven't finished it yet. So I can't give a complete opinion on it. However, I'm 5 episodes in. And I honestly think, and people may severely disagree with this, I think it's some of the best Star Wars we've ever had. I think it's great.
What about it makes it great?
I think Rosario Dawson is an unbelievable Ahsoka.
Okay.
I like the live-action Sabine, the live-action Hera. I haven't got to Thrawn and Ezra yet. The guy that plays Balin, Ray Stevenson, R.I.P., great actor. One of the coolest looking villains we've had in Star Wars.
Okay.
And he's just great. Really interesting character, a fallen Jedi. It all just grabs me. I read complaints about the action before watching it. So that's something I was, and naturally I do anyway, heavily critique the action in things. I think it's great.
Okay.
And then episode 5, if you know, all the Clone Wars stuff, almost brought a tear to my eye. It was just like watching art.
Okay. So stepping back.
Yeah.
Taking off nostalgia glasses. Do you still think it's, like, where does it rank then in what we've had?
I think it's probably the best.
Better or worse than The Mandalorian season 2, I guess.
That's what I was just going for. No, probably second to that, I think.
Okay.
It's real tough. And I'm watching it with my partner as well, and she is almost like a new generation Star Wars fan. She basically got into Star Wars around the Disney takeover. I'd never even seen a Star Wars before then.
Yeah.
And when Ahsoka came out, she really wanted to watch it. Cool girl-led Star Wars show. So I was like, you can't watch this if you haven't seen Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah.
So it was through like maternity, I think. She basically sat and watched all the Ahsoka episodes of both. And yeah, she absolutely is loving it as well. So
okay.
She doesn't have the nostalgia glasses.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ahsoka definitely.
It may go.
That apology's coming up then.
Yeah, it may flip and end up terrible.
I mean, there's supposed to be a season 2, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
So it's got to have done better than a lot of things.
It's very true.
To get a season 2.
Yeah.
That's a positive sign.
Yeah.
And it's something I will definitely go to
and
watch properly. But yeah, I've really struggled to get back in. I'd love to get back into it.
I think this is the interesting.
I just want to revisit, go to the old, but like the legend stuff. That's where my mind keeps going towards. That's the problem.
But because we've been in this position where we've been so disillusioned with Star Wars, I think this brings a really interesting perspective to this type of debate. Because we are, and I mean hardcore Star Wars fans. Like seriously hardcore Star Wars fans. To get so damaged and hurt to the point where you're not watching new content, it's pretty serious.
Yeah.
In terms of fandom.
I absolutely loved coming back and making the content on this channel not long ago.
Yeah.
But again, it was just like, it's tough.
And it's a very, because of people like us that were so hurt by it, it was a very negative environment.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube Star Wars. Because there's so many passionate fans out there that feel like they've been betrayed.
Yep.
It's a difficult thing to talk about sometimes.
Okay, so after Ahsoka, and this was everything that came out last year now, there's 3 things.
Yeah.
I don't think either of us have seen any of them.
Okay.
Sorry. We got Tales of the Empire.
Right.
The Acolyte.
Right.
And Skeleton Crew.
Okay. So The Acolyte was one of the things that's got to be talked about. The hate towards that show caused a lot of discussion and controversy for many things, not just Star Wars fans, but this homophobia debates. It caused so much.
Yeah.
Some of the creators of the show, I think it was, called it the gayest Star Wars show ever.
Yes,
as
literally
like a
in their
boast.
promotional.
Yes.
Yeah.
And while I'm not in the slightest bit homophobic. Genuinely, I don't think that is what you use to market Star Wars.
Well, no, Star Wars is its own thing. Like Star Wars sounds Star Wars.
Yeah.
All the other like the political opinion, like anything like that, that's just it's not the world for it.
Yeah.
These aren't the films for those kind of
No.
Like that's not what you emphasize. Okay, if there's stuff within it, if there's a gay character in there, that means nothing. It's just Star Wars is a universe full of fucking aliens and anything shape or size or whatever you can find. Like it's not like you go, oh no, there couldn't be.
Yeah.
It's just they would just be there with everything else, not that's the focus.
Yeah. Why is that being used to market it? Yeah. That was what made me a bit like, this is just what are you doing? Like you said, put those characters in it, great. Represent everybody. It's an entire galaxy and universe filled with aliens and different. Of course, there's going to be trans people and gay people. Fantastic. But that shouldn't be the marketing. That just is Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's everything. I just, so that kind of bugged me a little bit.
Yeah. And I mean, okay, I will admit, I watch a lot of channels that do not necessarily be
hate
nice.
Clickbait, basically.
They do. I do watch videos by like The Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic, I was about to say Bad Robot Head.
Oh, yeah.
Or Bad Robot. Yeah. So I've seen bits about the Acolyte from those. And I always know that they are very much, they go all in on everything negative.
Yeah.
But it's just some of it, I can't bring myself to watch that one.
I have said that, and I've sworn I'm never going to watch it, but then I see elements of it. It's the fact that it's the earliest point of the Star Wars timeline that we have.
Yes, chronological order, it'd be number one.
It's number one. That makes me want to watch it alone. The other thing is, it's a Jedi show, Jedi and Sith show. Great. I don't know the character's name, the one with the skull teeth mask thing. Looks really badass.
Yeah.
There's parts of that show that I really want to see, but I just don't want to. I don't want to watch it and be so hurt by it again that it does what has previously happened and make me not want to watch Star Wars, because I just don't want that. Life is better when you watch Star Wars.
Yeah. So it is tough. Because I mean, I've got a few things to catch up on.
Yeah. Skeleton Crew, though, I've heard that it's not necessarily terrible. It's just another one of those things that's probably not going to appeal to everyone.
No, I mean, what do they call it? It's the
Treasure Island.
Treasure Island, yeah. It's marketed for younger audience. And if you'd put that out early days, I think it would have done a lot better. I think it's just come at the very wrong time for that kind of show.
Yeah.
Like, Star Wars needs to get its adult audience back on side to then get their kids into it.
Yeah.
And right now, not many adults want to bother getting their kids into Star Wars because of how they feel it is.
Yeah.
So I think timing-wise, that one was just wrong. Might not be the worst show, but it's timing.
Yeah.
And Tales of the Underworld just dropped.
Literally yesterday.
Yes, so definitely haven't seen that one yet.
No.
But I like all these Tales of the
same.
So,
what about Visions?
That wasn't on the list.
Oh. I was just trying to picture Disney Plus then. Star Wars Visions is definitely... How many other things have we missed?
Not on this list.
Well, there's also that, which is, pretty cool.
I mean, this is the Star Wars movies and series viewing guide on StarWars.com.
What?
So, the release order.
How weird.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Okay, so I guess to kind of round this off, that's everything that Disney have done. Overall, how do you feel it's gone? How has Disney's reign so far been?
Bad.
Yeah?
I will be honest, Star Wars is probably the biggest, franchise IP in the world of film.
Maybe Marvel, but yeah.
Maybe, but Marvel's a lot more recent, and it's definitely dipped off a lot.
Yeah.
Star Wars has been going strong since 1977.
Yeah.
So, if not as top 2, top 3, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And the fact they can be losing money on stuff, I think is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Admittedly, you can have, once you put out 15 films, you're going to get a bad one somewhere. That's just, it's going to happen. But it's getting worse and worse and worse. And the fact we haven't had a Star Wars film since
Rise of Skywalker,
which the year's already left me. What year was that again?
2020, is it?
2019.
2019.
6 years. Okay, we're getting The Mandalorian and Grogu as a film. But that's only coming at the end of 3 seasons of a show, of which the 3rd season very much
Do
less.
you know what?
received.
All the people that watch the trailer at Star Wars Celebration, everything I'm hearing about the leaks from that is that it looks like a filler episode. Which I really hope they just save it for the movie.
So I think the fact you could go 6 years without putting out a Star Wars film, I think that is shocking.
And they just drop in loads of shows that people are
and think of all the stuff they've announced that's never come out. Like we've said ourselves so many times, just give us a Revan story.
Oh my God. If you want money, if you want to print money, just do the Knights of the Old Republic game as a film.
Yeah.
A trilogy.
Yeah.
Give us Revan as a Jedi Knight going to he goes to Mandalore. And then something happens in Mandalore. He basically becomes a Sith, becomes a bad guy, and then the Jedi recapture him, turn him back into a Jedi and wipe his memory. Then there's the whole redemption arc, and he can go either way. He takes on Malak. That's a trilogy. That's a trilogy right there.
Yeah. And I mean, it was the issue they made at the beginning with just going, oh, okay, this is Legends. We're going to ignore all this.
Yeah.
And then not just stealing it, basically. Like they bought it all. If they went, oh, this is Legends, but we're going to redo it slightly.
Yeah.
And do all these, like, you had characters like Mara Jade.
Kyle Katarn.
Yeah. Like everyone in Legends. Why? Ben? No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was Ben Solo. Ben Sky.
My mind's now. I'm mixing it
We're
up.
tainted. No.
It's been too long now. I've taken too long out of it. But they had it all there that they could make little adjustments to make it their own if they wanted, or just go, why break what's everyone has already gone, we love this.
Yeah.
And let's just make it into a film. Here you go, here's this novel, adapt this. Done.
Malgus, Malak, Bane, Scourge. There's so many good characters you could write about.
Yeah, I mean, even if they wanted to stick close and if they're like, oh, it's risky doing characters, no, a lot of people won't know.
Yeah.
Okay, start with Palpatine and Plagueis.
Yep.
Like,
what do you mean? Didn't we get Plagueis in the Acolyte?
Yeah, he just pokes his face out from some cave on some island. And you're just like, like it's just one of those. So yeah, I think it's in a very bad spot because how can you fumble that?
Yeah.
So, but when there's so many people out there who could just go, okay, you make this, you've got 90% of the people going to watch it, at least out of curiosity, even if they're not going to believe you until they've seen it.
Yeah, and cast Keanu Reeves as Revan.
Yeah.
If you haven't read the Revan book, the description of the character is literally Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. They
may as well say, and Revan, who looks a lot like Keanu Reeves.
Revan, a.k.a. Neo. But what about you? What do you think?
I think there's definitely been enough good stuff to keep me...
For 10 years worth.
There's been more bad than good. I'll give it that. But when I look back on it after some time to reflect, I go, you know what? Force Awakens was cool. Ahsoka is great. Really like Kenobi. 2 seasons of Mando are fantastic. Bad Batch is great. Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire. I mean, just that is 8 things. Season 6 Clone Wars.
Yeah.
That's 9 things. I think that's maybe more good than bad. And I haven't even got through all of Andor or Start of the Acolyte or Skeleton Crew. I might love those. You never know.
That's true. It's true. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is at this stage. Disney have done their damage.
I'm going to give Disney one more movie.
The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh, God, yeah.
Or one more.
One more post that.
I mean, is that going to be the Rian Johnson trilogy? Is it going to be the Benioff?
Is that still happening? Is that the Rey trilogy happening? Like,
is it Benioff and Weiss's trilogy, which was scrapped? Is it the Rey film that's supposedly releasing next year, I believe? Yeah, hasn't even started anything. I don't know if that one's actually been officially cancelled now.
I'll tell you one thing we have forgotten. Maul Shadow Lord.
Oh, yes.
Now that could be something worth holding out for. And if that's really good, then maybe we do owe Disney an apology because they've given us that, in my books, that's 10 good things.
When's that one out?
Wait, I didn't even say Rogue One as well. Rogue One's a big plus.
Yeah.
Solo, I'm a bit like 50-50.
Okay, but the question is a good Force Awakens, a good Rogue One, the equivalent of a bad Last Jedi and bad Rise of Skywalker? Does that good equal that bad? Are we balanced here? Or are we actually...
Are we more dark side?
Yeah. Is it more dark side?
It's real tough. That really is tough.
So I guess the other way to put it is, did Did The Force Awakens and Rogue One do more good for Star Wars than Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker did bad for
No,
it?
they definitely did more bad. For sure.
Just with dark side.
With Dark Side.
To the dark
So
side.
that's 4 of like 20 things that have come out.
I mean, we can go through all the bad things as well if you want.
We could
But
debate
we'll
this
end it
all
on a
day.
positive
Yeah,
note.
we could debate this all day. But what I'm trying to say with this entire video is that some of the things that I watched while hurt by the bad things that came out, I watched with negative goggles on.
Yeah.
And I think that was unfair.
Okay.
So from that perspective, I don't necessarily owe Disney an apology, but maybe a chance. I owe them another chance.
10th chance, 2nd chance, 3rd chance, 4th chance, 5th chance.
Well, there's only ever been the one time where I've gone, I'm done with Star Wars.
Fair.
Screw you, Disney. So now I'm giving them another chance.
Fair enough.
So technically for me, it's only a second chance.
Okay. See if they can live up to previous expectations.
There's also been like some like Battlefront 2, was that in that time? I think it was. Battlefront 2, Jedi Survivor and Jedi Outcast. Great games. There has been some real good stuff. There really has. I heard that, was it Rogue Squadron? I heard that was quite good. Never played it.
Yeah, I don't know. Me neither. Galaxy of Heroes, that's been around a long time.
Oh, hell yeah. Spent some time on that.
Pay to win even.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So many hours.
All right. Well, that's that.
It is.
Please, if you watch this video, join in the discussion. What do you think about Star Wars? Are you still with it? Are you still trying to enjoy it? If you're not and you're done with it, then do what I did. Try and maybe give it another shot. Rewatch the shows that you wanted to like and didn't, and see how you feel now. Because that's how I felt about Kenobi. Really wanted to like it. Didn't. Watched it now. I'm happy.
I'm going to have to give it another go, I think.
Yeah. Do Ahsoka first, though.
Ahsoka first. I can do that.
Good. All right. Guys, it's been fun talking Star Wars again. It's been a long time. Hopefully this gets more than 3 views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4, 5.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great day. And see you next time on Rebel Arena.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye there.